Hey, welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. We're going to be reading these. I guess we're going to do the water signs right now for today. I'm going to start off with Cancer, then move over to Scorpio, and then Pisces later after that. Thanks so much for joining as always. Do appreciate your time. And we're going to go ahead and get into this today for the month of May. It's going to be a general reading. So, as always, if you like what you see here, please like, share, subscribe, comment below, ding the notification bell when you get the chance, so that way we can go ahead and push the algorithms for this channel. Additionally, thanks so much. And if you would like a personal reading, I have updated the information in the description box. I did have a typo in the email address, so I guess I've had to cover my bases that way, and I've gone ahead and created a small mini website until I can get the major website built. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. Cancer, you're up. So we're going to be reading this for the month of May. We've had a bit of a doozy in April. Things have been pretty chaotic for everyone, but now we do have some pretty positive kind of manifestations taking place in this, in the astrology. We have, Jupiter, like positive aspects between Jupiter and Uranus, which are allowing people to kind of make breakthroughs with their finances. And then we also have, I think we had the new moon in Taurus, and then we also have Venus in Taurus, which the combination of those things is actually allowing for people to make some, some strides within their, astrological makeup. And I guess through the transits, people are experiencing a little bit of a lift of a heavy burden from all the energy that took place in April, especially with a lot of the eclipses and the moons and Scorpios and all that crazy stuff. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Cancer, month of May. We have Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of May. Being told on would shuffle for 3 times. Okay, let's get started. So, Cancer, we'll see what's in your makeup today. We have Cancer, as you are now. What's the challenge? What's Cancer's challenge? What is in the recent past? What's in the near future? What's in the near future? Is that the crown? And what is the ultimate outcome? Advice. Right, cool. So what we have here, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So basically an issue with an unequal exchange, and an equal give and take in a particular scenario. And we're going to go ahead and find out what that specific thing is. Let's see what the signifier is for this. Maybe this will shed some clarity. What is the signifier for this? So yours seems more like a love reading. Clarify that signifier. Yeah. It's taking a risk on love only to realize that that was not reciprocated for you. And so overall, what I see here, this is an issue where you try to manifest something with a person in love, and that absolutely backfired in your face. So for you, for example, you have the Tower card, and then you also have the magician as the challenge. So with this tower card, we see here in the deck, it's known as the stricken tower. And this is the steampunk tower. And for many people who are Cancers here that this resonates with, your life feels like it's falling apart. And essentially what's going on with you is that you've had to take kind of a leap of faith into the unknown after the foundation of your life has crumbled due to a sudden, unpredictable, event that has shaken your foundation. And we can find out a little bit more about what that is about. But the challenge here is a complete loss of confidence that you'll be able to manifest anything new. And additionally, you could be dealing with manipulation specifically in your life as it stands. So what I notice here is that this is kind of like what I'm getting in my head. I suppose like a demolition crew has just come through and wrecked everything in your life. What was the tower moment? What was the tower moment? So again, you have the King of Cups in the reverse, and then at the bottom of the deck you have the Five of Cups in the reverse. So you're getting over essentially a person who was very emotionally controlling or manipulative or completely detached altogether. Now in the recent past you have the Six of Swords, and in this deck it's the Six of Airships. This is mentally moving on from a situation that deeply upset you or troubled you. This comes after the Five of Swords, and what this insinuates is that after the Five of Swords, where you experience a painful loss, then you have to move from the Six of Swords after that feeling of defeat, moving into calmer waters with just the clothes on your back and whatever you've taken from that battle. So for example, if this was a work situation, you had to face extreme headwinds in your life, where your bosses, the people that you were working with, close co-workers, supervisors, were creating a lot of chaos in your life, and you had to basically fight them head on, whether it was a constructive dismissal, whether it was a workplace mobbing, things like that. You're now, after this major tower moment, you're pushing forward, you're trying to get to calmer waters, maybe by finding a new job or by finding a new type of career to work in altogether, a new sector even. Because, it can be quite troubling when you have to deal with people who take away your confidence. They give you that knock on your confidence, which can take quite a bit of time to get back, because as we see in the stricken tower or in the Rider-Waite tower, the crown representing the ego is knocked off of the tower that has built that sense of stability, and that stability is almost false stability, because the universe basically shoots that bolt of lightning which knocks off your ego, your crown, and then sends the two people flying. One goes willingly, the other one goes by force. And so that's essentially what you feel like has happened. It feels like your world has collapsed. Moving on, when we see that Six of Swords there, that was what you tried to do in the past. But I do see you moving into a much more positive light right here. Say, for example, this is a relationship, since we did get the Ace of Cups reverse and then the Fool as the signifiers. That could relate to love relationships or work relationships, something you felt really passionate about, that has now been nixed, and then now you're having to take a leap on something new. If it's a love relationship, you have had unrequited love, and then that in turn has then pushed you into a place where you have to start your life anew. And in either situation can be equally painful, because you feel like you've invested a lot in those relationships that you've had with people, those whether it felt just like a free zone or if it was an actual heavily invested relationship that took years to build only to come collapsing down. And so what we notice, I think I saw in some of the air signs some similar kind of qualities where they had to rebuild after a period of deep sense of rejection, or things didn't work out as planned. And this is something that happens quite commonly in people's lives, where they feel that when people do not show the same level of investment in their relationships or their work, associations, we are upset because we think that we should expect the other people to give as much as you give, that there should be some form of reciprocity. And that's what everyone wants in all the associations that they have with people. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And it does kind of shine a light. It does highlight exactly like where we give too much, and that we do so out of a place where we want acceptance from other people outside of ourselves. And this creates the imbalance. So in essence, we have to be reflective when we see this. What are we doing that contributes to the power play and the energy exchanges that we have with people? One of the things is, if we give too much, the universe reflects that by sending a person who takes too much. And then if we continue to give to the person who takes too much, then it's a reflection of how the very person that we should give to is ourselves. We have to give to ourselves as much as we give to other people, because we're not looking for validation from those outside of ourselves. So whether it's a love or a work or any kind, familial relationship as well, you have to ask yourself, if this is not being reciprocated, then why do I continue to give to it? And this in turn sheds light on our own inadequacies that we have to sort out and that we have to transmute through shadow work. This is one of the cornerstones of the readings that I give here on this website, or on this YouTube channel, sorry. And it's something that we have to reflect on if we want to ascend and to become, better individuals as ourselves. And that is through that process of individuation that I love to read about from Carl Jung, where he talks about integrating the shadow self into our lives so that we can, become stronger, more authentic manifestations of ourselves, of our psychology. We then move into number 5, the horologer, who is the Hierophant in this deck. And he is the master watchman. And he is the one that creates time itself, which is used to power a lot of the devices and a lot of the technologies in this, steampunk world. And for him, he sees this lotus in front of him. That lotus, it could be an energy source, or it could be the fact that, this illumination is blossoming the same way that a lotus is used in a lot of Eastern mythologies or Eastern philosophies. It lives on the water. It doesn't actually live in the soil. And through that nourishment from the muddy waters of life, it's actually able to thrive. So it's almost like a metaphor for, you've been through a lot of challenges, which have created some very muddy emotions. But through that, we have been able to blossom. I mean, I do have Cancer in my North Node, and this does ring true, for me as well. But for those who have Sun, Moon, and Rising, where, it's probably a bit more potent in your chart, it's probably something that you've noticed about yourself. If you have been through a lot, and you do notice that for you, the challenges that you have faced in the past and the challenges that you have been through have actually strengthened you and made you the person that you are today, for better or worse. It is about transmuting that and then making it for the better. And I do see that happening, because your advice is actually the devil in reverse, which is known as the cyborg here. When we look at the core aspects of yourself, we see that we have the Triumph card here. And this is actually about moving forward because it's the Chariot card in this deck. But in the reverse, it talks a lot about where you feel stuck in your life. And this is the core of what you're feeling right now. So feeling stuck is a very frustrating place to be. I call it being in purgatory, and it can be purgatory in work, it can be in finances, it can be in relationship. But it relates oftentimes, feeling stuck, it often relates to the devil and what we're trying to do with our lives. It's about finding solutions to complex problems where we're able to grow and become more intellectually capable by overcoming the issues surrounding our lives. So, for example, you have a difficult financial situation, you've tried everything, you feel stuck. It's about kind of tapping into that hangman energy, flipping reality on its head and trying to see things from a new perspective. And in doing so, this allows us to create more authentic solutions that can overcome even the most insurmountable of issues and challenges. What I'm doing these days with my own personal life, and I actually even officially started it, is keeping a journal of some of the issues that I've had to face in my past, and then how that then led to a breakthrough solution, like that Ace of Swords moment in which I was able to find the proper solution to that crisis or that challenge. So, for example, if I had a financial situation, how did I end up breaking through that? And how did that end up, materializing into something better? How did I overcome the challenge with a few exams or tests that I had to take, where I was able to finally overcome those and then move forward with my life? If I had a difficult relationship, how did I become unstuck from that and then move forward? A lot of times, many things that we do to become unstuck tap into this full energy. And doing so, it's like feel the fear and do it anyway. Because what we're trying to do is try and experiment with solutions that will work best for us. And in turn, getting over that fear allows us to get the energy and receive the breakthrough that we need in order to overcome that crisis in our lives. We also see this by the issue of what's known. We have the King of Wands in the reverse. In the upright, it's a very confident person who is capable of going after what they want and receiving what they want. And maybe in the past, because this is in the reverse, or even in the present, we find that it's very difficult for this particular Cancer that resonates with this to go after what they want. And this in turn leads to feeling stuck. Cancers can sometimes close off in their shell when they're faced with challenges from the past, challenges from the outside. And what this does is this makes the person feel like it's safer to just be by themselves, to be alone, to kind of become a bit more hermetic, similar to the, Virgos in some cases. Whereas Virgos have a bit more of a practical grasp on how to overcome crises and challenges. The Cancer would more so just prefer to just stay cloistered in themselves. And so for you, what this entails is that you may have to, you'll have to come out of your shell in order to attack these problems head on. Think about how a crab interacts with people. And I remember seeing that one YouTube video where the crab gets the butter knife or like the steak knife, and he like runs around and he starts slashing at the person that's trying to grab the knife from him. And that's the kind of tenacity that you have to have when you're overcome with problems. You have to realize that you're tough enough to deal with those things. You may be soft and vulnerable on the inside, but on the outside, you're tough as nails. And that's the beauty of the Cancer. You know, the crustaceans of the zodiac are fully capable of tackling even the most difficult challenges because they're built of the stuff made to overcome those things. And so for you, I think that that's the lesson that you're learning with this Hierophant here. Hierophants are the teachers of the zodiac, and they teach based on, what's worked in the past. So think about that. I just finished speaking about keeping a journal of times in which you faced problems and you were able to overcome them, because you'll notice a pattern there. That pattern is actually the watches and everything that's this Hierophant is creating. And like clockwork, maybe these things come to light. So perhaps in your specific case, it's best for you to look back at all the times in which you have faced these really difficult obstructions in your life. Write it down, reflect on it, and then you will find that there is a commonality between all of them, where you can then find that forward movement. Because sometimes it could be an issue of timing, other times it could be creating a viable solution, other times it can be simply asking for help. And in each of those challenges, you were able to defeat them, so why not be able to defeat the new challenges as they come up? So in the outcome, I do see the Nine of Pentacles. You do have that as your final card, as Nine of Leviathans in this particular chart. And what it insinuates is that, yes, you'll become financially independent. And this is a very good sign. Now, this is the start. It's not per se the Nine of Cups, where this person feels like they have a wish fulfillment, or they have they're fully emotionally independent. But at least the Nine of Pentacles gets them in the right frame of mind where they can be financially or materially independent and have a sense of, I have everything that I need. I have mini Empress energy, because the Nine of Pentacles is often seen as the mini Empress, the pre-Empress, as they would say. And this creates a level of abundance where they can lay that sturdy foundation destroyed by the stricken, by the tower. And so, in essence, you will overcome the challenge of the Magician reverse by allowing yourself to get back into your groove, if you want to call it that, or at least get back into a place in which you can feel, unbroken or even unbothered by the situations that have befallen your life. So whether it's work, career, finance, love, just know that you do have all the solutions within. You have to trust your inner guidance. And Cancers also rule the High Priestess, and it's not shown on the board right now, but I can say that maybe perhaps this is a kind of power that you need to tap into, being able to sit and listen to your inner guidance system, and that will allow you to overcome the challenges that you have faced by allowing the solutions to present themselves to you. In doing so, when you do have that aha moment, which is also the Tower as well, it's kind of like the Ace of Swords on steroids. You will be able to then move forward with the proper solution. So that said, your advice is the Devil. I'm going to clarify the Devil reversed. Clarify the Devil reversed. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Eight of Wands is normally a card of travel. It's normally a card of rapid, swift communication. As advice, the Devil reverse normally talks about getting unstuck, getting out of this, Chariot reversed energy and being tied to negative or unproductive things. And when I see the two of these cards together, I get an impression that you are doing your best to just shut this down as quickly as possible. You're being advised to know that if you want to get unstuck from this situation, sometimes it's best to stop feeding the activity that is putting you in that place in the first place. So perhaps if you're doing one thing over and over and over and over again, perhaps it's time to stop feeding that energy and to try something completely different. It's almost like a changing of the wind. And in your case, it's probably best that you allow yourself to experiment and try new paths. You know, when you have rapid travel, sometimes you go to one place all the time, and it doesn't seem to be creating that solution for you. So perhaps in this one, you have to stop your action in one place and then try to see things from a new perspective to get unstuck. So these are two cards of getting unstuck. This is the Hangman reverse. Normally the Hangman remains stuck so that it can reflect on precisely what it is that it needs to do. And its legs are actually in a number 4 position. So that way it can kind of remain stable and grounded where it is there to gain those insights. You can see the laser going through it, indicating kind of like a divine download. In this, you're getting unstuck from it. So what I would see here is that for you, Cancer, the best way to get unstuck from the situation is to change course. And you can even see that in the 9 of Pentacles, that they're actually changing course. They're on a specific pathway, you know, moving with this machine here. And it's probably best that you know exactly where you're moving to and where you're going. Cancers tend to move sideways. They may eschew the situation, or they may try to get around it. But in this, I see what you're trying to do is meet that head on. So no wiggling side to side. It's now time to move forward with the solution. Sit with yourself, gain that download. And then when you're armed with knowledge, then you can move forward and then take an advanced position on whatever it is that's troubling you. So yeah, that's what I really see there. I mean, I think, you know, it's pretty much in the month of May. You're just advised that if you're feeling stuck, if you've just gotten out of a difficult situation that's kind of eroded your entire foundation, rather than looking to the external to try to, I suppose, find a culprit or find a reason, something to blame, what you're advised to do is to sit with yourself and try to, number one, see the gratitude in the things that you still have, and then also find the solutions within yourself so that you can move forward. It's time to be very, very practical, pragmatic, and utilitarian when it comes to your ability to resolve the issue. And I think by doing that, you will have a much better outcome for the month of May. And I think that for you, it will come. It will come by the end of May, but the work that you put in now will actually lead you to this positive outcome. So it's not going to be something that's just tossed in your lap and you're like, yay, I have a solution now. You have to sit with yourself, meditate, reflect. And then once you receive the download, then you can proceed forward. But anyways, I hope that helps. Thanks so much for joining. This is Aluminum Tarot. As always, I appreciate your time, support. And if you would like to receive more readings like this, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any of these updates. And also, if you like a free personal reading, instructions for doing that is in the description box below. I do appreciate you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope you enjoyed the Northern Lights. That was pretty crazy that, you know, it's all over the earth right now, it seems, you know, in North America and in the UK as well. So enjoy the light show. And until then, love and light. Bye now.